Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're watching us from at this time. This video is a continuation of the ancestral healing that we just discussed in the previous video. Find that video here or there and watch it before you continue this. Because here today we are talking about and dealing with the examples of ancestral woundings. Yes, we talked about the ancestral healing and the causes and what is ancestral healing. Now, in this video today, we want to talk about the examples of ancestral wounding and also why ancestral healing is very, very much important, and the benefits of ancestral healing is what we are discussing in this video today. Right, it's still your personal person, Dr. Machiya Merezedibia. Good. We're here to make sure that you get the information, spiritual information that will help you to experience creation, manifestation, and transformation in order to help you become whom you're meant to be. Thank you. Today we want to talk about the examples of people or lineage or ancestry, ancestral lines that are experiencing the ancestral wounds that need healing. Number one, a family with repeated financial hardship despite hard work. This is an inherited scarcity pattern. Despite all you have done, everything you keep doing, you're trying all your best, but it seems as if your best is not enough. But you know you are doing everything you can do. You have done some spiritual works, you have prayed prayers, you have made some fastings, but yet hardship, financial hardship continue to repeat in your life. This is an example that there is ancestral wound that need healing in your family. Another example is women in a lineage who keep attracting abusive partnership, abusive marriage, abusive relationship, toxic relationship. Even when you get out of a particular relationship, the next relationship will still be just the same as the previous one. You get married, that marriage is like hell. You're just managing it so that it will not look as if you don't have a husband. That is a serious sign that this family is going through ancestral wound. All right? Generational trauma or suppressed feminine power. You're going through that. In that marriage, in fact, it is like you should not talk. You don't have a say. You don't have to make an input. The marriage is like hell to you. The relationship is so toxic. And even when you leave that one, you're experiencing the same thing. And you look at your other brothers your other siblings, they are going through the same thing in different ways. Listen, this is a sign that there is ancestral wound that need healing. Another example is a person afraid to express spiritual gift or speak up because an ancestor was punished for it. This is a wound in the ancestral lineage that need healing. You have this gift. You have this ability. You know that you have a calling for something greater than yourself. But you are afraid to speak up. You are afraid to express that gift because of maybe the fear of what people may say. Or maybe people around you or people in your family have been suppressed from speaking up. Such a person is experiencing ancestral wound that calls for healing. Another example is inherited illnesses. Hypertension, diabetes, and so on. That reflects energetic imbalance. You are going from hospital to hospital, different hospitals. Sometimes they diagnose you, they take some tests, and they say they don't know what is actually happening to you. You're taking all manner of medicines. You have drunk so many kinds of drugs, but yet the illness continues to persist. This is a sign there is, an ancestral wound calling for healing. Another example has to do with dreams. Visitations from ancestors crying, warning, or appearing restless in your dreams. Whenever you have a dream, you are seeing one of your ancestors, in a restless mood, or is crying, or is warning, giving a warning of something. There is a wound that is calling for healing. These are signals that something in the ancestral field is calling for healing on a very large scale. So if you are experiencing any of these and more, let it be known to you that there is an ancestral wound in your family calling for healing. And you have incarnated, and it is your ancestors are expecting you to be the one to initiate this healing. What is the wound in that family that needs to be healed? What is that trauma? What is that pain? What is that, that cause? What is that, covenant breakage? What is it? Find out what exactly that need to be healed and find it. Make sure it gets healed. That is why you incarnated. That is why you're there. And that is how you will be able to reclaim your own self in the process. All right? Now, the next thing is, why is it that the ancestral healing is very much important? So why? Somebody will be so, caught up with all of this and say, okay, why is it so important? Why must I heal my ancestral wounds? Why must I be concerned about the ancestral wounds? Let it be known to you, number one. You see, the number one reason is that you are the living altar of your ancestors. Do you know that the blood of your ancestors surrounds in you right now, right here, right now as you're watching this video? And because their blood runs in you, their unfinished stories lives in your blood. And it lives in your bone, in your behavior. That's why in those days when somebody behaves and the next thing they ask, who is the father? And when the father is mentioned or any of the relation is mentioned, he say, okay, I know them. Because why? There are stories about them that are running in your blood and you're behaving them. You are pushing them through your behaviors. So until they are healed, they echo through your life. That is one important reason why the ancestral healing is very much important. And number two reason is that your destiny is tied to your lineage. Do you know that? Do you know that you're not just living alone? Whatever you become, whatever you are, whatever happens to you, happens to your lineage. You're like a mirror of those ancestors. You are mirroring them in existence. So your destiny is tied to your lineage, and if you fail to heal your ancestral wound, it will be difficult for you to be able to fulfill that destiny that you came with in this lifetime. So when you heal backward, you also unlocking power for your future. If you look back to heal those ancestral wounds, you are automatically, healing and unlocking the powers that have been before you came. All right? So, and then as you unlock those powers, you also unlock your manifestation keys to manifesting the kind of life you want to live. So that is another very important reason why you must heal the ancestral wounds. But do your deep alpha consultation reading in order to find out how you can heal your ancestral wounds. Another reason, another why the ancestral healing is very important has to do with, unhealed ancestors can block blessings. If you have an unhealed ancestors, they can block the path of your blessings. Because why? They are not happy that you're here and allowing them to remain in the same way that they were. So, and when they block the path of your blessings, thereby causing stagnation, thereby creating confusion, thereby creating, in fact, allowing illnesses and sicknesses, and thereby also giving way for spiritual attacks. That is why it's very important to heal your ancestral wounds. Because if you don't heal your ancestral wounds, you are opening door for Nduke, the negative energies. You are giving room for spiritual impurities. You are opening door for Chomo Nseke. Okay? These are spiritual what? These are spiritual attacks that will be coming on you, on your relationship, on your jobs, on your family, on your health, on your finances, and so on. So that is another reason to heal your ancestral wounds. The fourth reason why healing of ancestral wounds are very important has to do with healed ancestors, you must know, become powerful allies, protectors, and guides in the spirit realm for you. When your ancestors are healed, they are like people in the prison that are being released. They gain freedom. And as they are free, they are empowered to assist you in your journey in this time, space, reality. They are free to help you assess some certain difficult matters in the spirit realm. They guide you properly. They release their wisdoms to you to help you in this time as you move through your own journey in this lifetime. So ancestral healing allows you to stand in your true power as a sovereign soul. As you heal your ancestral wounds, you gain sovereignty. Not just as an individual, but a living continuation of a sacred bloodline in your family lineage. Many families today, many homes today, you can only see them have a name or have a reason to live outside their family homes. But if you come to their family homes or family root or their village, they are like people nothing to write home about. They don't even have a block they can call their own. And if they ever have a block they can call their own, it could be a block or a house that their parents or father or forefather or predecessors built. They don't have their own house. And they have been trying ever since to even be able to build a house of their own, but they have not been able to achieve that. Why? Because the family lineage has wounds calling for healing. And until you heal from your root, you are not able to stand on your own. So to a very large extent, you are a continuation of that sacred bloodline, and it is a demand on you. Yes, it is a demand on you to heal that family lineage. And if you fail to do that, your children will still go through the same thing you're going through. And now let's wrap it up with the benefits of ancestral healing. What do you stand to get? Having known, the reasons to do the healing, now what do you stand to get if you actually heal? For example, the first and foremost thing you get from healing your ancestral wound has to do with freedom from hidden burdens. You become a free man. That is the most important thing. Freedom from emotional pain, emotional traumas, emotional problems, freedom from mental problems, mental burdens, okay? freedom from financial burdens, financial pain, financial, scarcity cycles, and also spiritual freedom. You will also gain freedom from spiritual, issues. So your emotion, your mental state, your emotional state, mental state, financial state, and spiritual state depends on this healing. And when you do have one, you are free from the hidden burdens of all of that. Number two thing you gain from healing your ancestral wound has to do with clarity. There will be clarity in your chi parts, clarity of purpose, clarity of who you are, clarity of your chi part, your chi purpose, the essence of your existence. All of these becomes clearer and clearer to you. All right? And be that as it may, you will no longer be someone who is so confused about what is your purpose of existence, what path do you take, and you will no longer be in confusion of who you are. Another benefit of healing your ancestral wound has to do with, greater self-love. You will gain greater self-love. You will have this feeling of loving yourself more. Confidence will arise. There will be self-confidence in you. And your real identity will be clearer and be revealed to you. So greater self-love, confidence, and identity will become something that will be standing right before you. Some of the confusions that you have been experiencing will despair. Not loving yourself as much as you ought to will become a thing that will be a thing of the past. Another benefit that you get, healing your ancestral wound, has to do with peace in the family field. There will be that peace in the realm. The spiritual atmosphere of the family will be so peaceful. Okay? Both in the living and in the dead. Both those who have died, those who are passed on, and those who are alive today. There will be this peace in the family spiritual realm. Okay? And when there is peace in the family spiritual realm, progress is inevitable. All right? So, prosperity is inevitable. Happiness is inevitable. Joy overflows. All right? And there will be this satisfaction of living. In the living and even that of the dead. Oh, yes. Another benefit you get by healing your ancestral wounds has to do with, healing of long-standing issues. For example, conflicts, illnesses, infertility, or poverty in the family. Okay? Because when these ancestral wounds are healed, okay, poverty will be no more in the family. Infertility, lack of being able to have your own child or have your own family, experiencing loving and peaceful, exciting, relationship will become a thing of the past. So there will be that healing of such long-standing, poverty, long-standing illnesses, long-standing infertility, long-standing, conflicts or disputes among the family. Do you know there are some brothers and sisters of the same family who are like enemies, who does not see eye to eye, who cannot even call each other year to year, month in, month out? They are brothers and sisters, family members, relatives, but they can never call each other. They think that is as a result of whatever they are pointing to. They don't know that it's a long-standing, conflict and dispute that have been in their family lineage that are calling for healing. Do deep alpha consultation reading and heal your ancestral wounds so that you all can enjoy peace. There are people who cannot forgive. They are members of the same family, but they don't forgive their past. They don't forgive those who have wronged them in that family. There is an ancestral wound that needs to be healed. Another benefit you get is restored spiritual support from your lineage. Do you know there are people, no matter the problem they go through, they don't get help? There are some people who have been existing and living, they cannot even be favored. They lack favor. Nobody to help them. Nobody to assist them. They will only be laboring and laboring in their own. And even their labor, all their laboring cannot amount to anything. Beloved, your family has ancestral wound. And heal the ancestral wound so that you'll be out of this and restore spiritual support of your lineage. Your ancestors are there to help you. They are there to help you, to support you in life. Okay? Another benefit you get when you heal your ancestral wounds has to do with increased blessings, prosperity, abundance easily and effortlessly. You will have a flow of income. It will be that, not until the money you have finished before another one enters. Not until you take loan before you do businesses. Do you know that people that do businesses that, in fact, companies beg to give them markets, goods on credit, products on credit, that after they finish selling, they can pay. But do you know there are some other people that they have to beg and beg companies to give them credit, and yet the company refuses to give them on credit, but they will give others. Do you know there are people that go they go for an interview, but yet, it happens that other people their interview will be so smooth, but their own will be rigorous. Because the family needs healing. So increase blessings, flow of abundance, flow of, infinite possibilities, opportunities all around. And there will be increased protection. When you heal your family ancestral wounds, you stand the position of protection. You will no longer be afraid of cockroaches and rats and birds and all manner of nonsense things that people begin to prophesy to you, that there is a bird crying over you, there is this one, enemies after you, this and that. Nonsense prophecies begin to come and you start being afraid of everyone around you. The reason you're being afraid is not because they prophesied to you. It's because your family lineage is under ancestral wound that need healing. What can fear do for you? That you're afraid of this person, you're afraid of that person, you're afraid of this one will kill you, this one will do you this one will do you that, and you are being afraid of everything, both human and animals, but yet you are still in prison. What can fear do for you? Fear is a torment. Fear will cage you. Heal your ancestral wounds and be free. And the last benefit we can talk about right here, right now, has to do with the ability to bless your children and future generation with light and not pain. Do you know there are some parents today that are not happy with their children, not because their children did them anything, not simply because their children, they could not amount to anything, and their children, they are looking at their children to take care of them, and the children are not taking care of them. And the next thing is that they are cursing those children instead of blessing them. And what could they say? They say, this thing you did to me, your children will do it to you. Because that is what their own parents say to them. There are some mothers and some fathers today, their fathers cursed them. What these things you did to me, your children will do it to you. And today their children are doing it to them, and they are now cursing their own children as well, and saying, this thing you're doing to me, your children will do it to you. These are ancestral wounds that need healing. Do your deep alpha consultation reading and understand the ancestral healing that is calling for healing. Because this has been a serious problem to so many people, and they think that the problem they need to do, or what the spiritual work they need to do, is all about going to the water to appease the water bodies. Go and the rag. Then, what on you, install their incarnator, and then take care of one spiritual problem or the other. Do one spiritual ritual or the other, and then there will be solution. What about your ancestral lineage, your ancestral root? How is your ancestral root? Don't you know that the ancestral root determines the functions of every of these elementals and any other entity that you are trying to reach? Ndị Igbo si, nwata lelia nna ya, ogodo nna ya wuchie ya anya. When a child fails to recognize the presence and the ability of the father, ngwongwo na ngwongwo awuchie ya anya, which means all the properties of the father will now, cover the child from succeeding, from becoming, from arising, from, being whatever is meant to be. Magana nwata mana nna ya, o mana ndị ichie. Oh yes, if a child knows the father, he will now understand the ancestors. He will know the ancestors. So, Bafa Diomimi, to know what ancestral healing do you really need in your own life, so as to assist your journey to be safe, smooth, and prosperous as you walk in this time-space reality. Udo drege, gazielu guneke gazieno ru gaziena for gaziena nkwo. Is still your personal person, wachi ya mereze dibia. Zitara nyozi na akara ekwenti a. Send us a message on this WhatsApp handle 09017818674. 09017818674. We will help you, okay, in any way possible. I na more dichiche, okay. We do different spiritual works, and also we help in deep alpha consultation reading in order to unveil the conditions of your spiritual world, as the case may be. Udo drege, agazielu guneke gazieno ro gaziena for gaziena nkwo. Ahiana no obochidado. Don't say it doesn't matter, because when you say it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter become matter arising at the long run. Ya gazielu is say